My name is Olanma Obioha. I'm the CEO of Olario Interiors and the lead designer. Okay, we'll start with the story of, how I got into interior design business. Originally, I studied banking and finance, but I knew it was not my call. I had my kids very early. I got married on time, so I had my 3 children back to back. I wanted to start something for myself. So I thought about photography, and I saw a relative of mine who was into photography, and I thought that was what I liked. I decided to go into that business, the business of producing pictures. So I set up a photo lab, but I found out it was not my call. I was making money, but I wasn't happy. I actually broke down a couple of times because I thought this is what I would end up with. I love fashion. I sold a bit of clothes, but that wasn't just it. I knew there was something God had called me for. So back then, I had my business in Festac, but there's this particular store I went to every day. It was a gift shop. It gave me so much joy. I love fashion. I love dressing up. So that's how my home has always been. I try to make my home. Even though, I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I made sure my home was organized because that was what I learned from my home, my mom. So I loved her space. I always went there to pick up one thing or the other. And then after a while, I said to myself, you know what, why can't I, do this myself? And when I started building my first house in Lekki Phase 1, I tried to do the interior design myself. I hadn't trained then. So I traveled abroad, bought a whole lot of stuff for my home. Then I had leftovers, right? When people came to visit me, they wanted everything. And by the time I knew it, I sold the ones that I even got for my home. And I said, okay, this is my calling. So I started to look for a store around this axis. Then I went to VGC and I found out the Ikota shopping complex would suit me because I went to a couple of places. I would go out in the morning, spend like 4 hours in each place to check the traffic and everything. And I found out, okay, VGC is a virgin place and there are new houses coming up. So a lot of people will need home accessories. So I set up a store, which was very little, just about 35 square foot. While I was setting up, I still had my newspapers closing the windows and the glass. And I saw people coming, knocking at the door. Please, can you open? I want to buy something. I'm like, we're not open yet. They would say, okay, please, just let me pick up one thing. Before I even opened, half of my things were gone. And I found out, people really love my taste in interior design and picking pieces then. I hadn't started designing homes professionally. So after I opened, I found out that my passion was there. I never left my showroom till like 8, 9 in the night. My kids were not finding it funny. My husband was not, but I just loved everything about it. And I loved the fact that people were coming to pick up pieces. And when I say people, they traveled all the way from the east, Port Harcourt, Ibadan. I had a lot of customers. Then while in Lagos, Apapa, and then all the big names call it Eleganza people, all those people, they were coming to shop from me, but I didn't really know who they were, but I knew, these people were people. You understand? So from that small little shop, I expanded to 4 branches. I did so well in it, but at some point I knew I had to stop because I had to take my children to Canada for their school, and that made me, start shutting down my branches. Okay? So I left only one so that at least my brand then, it was Rommel Furniture and Interiors. It's very popular then. So the name doesn't die, you know. So when I got to Canada, I went back to interior design school. So I studied visual arts and interior decorating in Sheridan College, Toronto, Ontario. So I did that while my children were also going to school. Okay, so when I finished, I decided to go into professional interior designs. So I have partnerships in Canada and some companies in Europe and America. So I started to design for people in Canada and America. But I knew there was something missing. I was doing stuff in Nigeria, but each time I had projects, I would have to go back, right? Or if I'm talking to someone about a project, I will have to go back. And I could have worked fully in Canada because I also did this home staging course. So I was doing home staging for builders and all that. So, but there was something that I felt incomplete about. I needed to come to Nigeria. And each time they asked me while I was in school, what are you going to do after your course? I said to them, I'm going back home. And I was the only one that would say that. And everybody would wonder, why would you want to go back home? You know, what is in Nigeria and all that. So the pandemic came. I decided to use my skill. You know, the way I was taught, I can use floor plans alone to furnish a space. I will buy everything and start from start to finish. I will finish a home from the floor plan. And again, you know, a lot of stores were shut down. So I happen to have clients, in fact, there are 3 of them in Ikoyi, have clients that already needed to move to their service apartments. So I had to use the floor plans to do all the shopping for the finishings and everything. And, you know, so luckily the pandemic finished, you know, so I came in and did the final setup. But all my purchases, everything, sourcing of products, everything was done online and with the floor plan. And I found that some light companies, for instance, they would not have what you want and they were not operational. So I had to look for some local artisans in Turkey, in Istanbul actually. I contacted them, drew up my lamps and my chandeliers myself, and they built it. And they came out very nice. So now I can do all those designs. That's what creativity does, right? My rugs, a lot of them are custom made. All these rugs, that's why they're covered. They're not cheap, right? So that I learned. So now, if you ask me what made me come back home, I feel I owe something to Nigeria. I felt incomplete, you know. Most of my friends that traveled, they're still back there. They wonder why I'm here. But I think I love Nigeria against all odds. Okay, so I decided to come back to rebrand because I feel God sent me here for a mission. My interior design is to show love to my clients, Because what I do for my clients, after designing their homes, we get very close. It gets very emotional, even up to the security men. I get to be their friends. Okay, so I go further to teach my clients about lifestyle changes, So a lot of my clients start to dress like me. That's the truth, yes. And I found out in Nigeria, a lot of homes, they're not kept well. And the divorce rate is going up so much. Why? One, I think the environment is a bit toxic. And I feel that women, we have a big role to play. And I feel, how do you bring in interior designs into a home and a marriage? Your home has to be peaceful. And how can your home be peaceful? If your home is clean, arranged properly. Some people say it doesn't matter if you don't cook, the Gen Z thing. No, we have to push that away and go back to the basics where we came from. You ask yourself, your mother, no matter what happened in her marriage, she stayed there. But these days, 6 months is gone. So I'm here to bring Olario Interiors to show people love through design, to change their lifestyle, to grow their homes, to teach their children how to live like women, how to live like good men, so that their homes can be a happy home again. Okay. And ask me why I chose Olario. My name is Ola. Yes. Ola in Igbo means jewel and wealth. In Yoruba, I know it means wealth too. And I want to bring in wealth into a home. My interior design earns, and it does not cost. So when I design for you, your house goes in value. So these are the things we want to bring into interior design, and that's what Olario is all about. So if you ask me, where do I draw my inspirations from? First of all, growing up, my mom was very stylish and she was a very good homemaker. Unfortunately, she passed when I was 10. But the memories she left behind is still what carries me on. Okay? So my inspiration, I draw it from fashion, from nature. If you look out now, so there's some interior design trends that work with nature, like the nuanced natural is one of the interior design trends of 2024, and it has to deal with nature, bringing nature into the home, from outside into the home. So you use just natural things, you use plants and natural woods and natural flooring like marbles and all of that. So that's what it's all about. So I travel a lot and I go to a lot of interior design shows, trade fairs, and all of that. So with that, you're exposed to knowing what the latest design trends are. And lastly, art. And for me, I feel it's a calling for me. I go to sleep at night, and all I'm thinking about is how I'm going to design a place. So there's something that, I have in it in me that comes out, because I dream about things and I wake up in the morning, I practice what I've dreamt of. Okay, so these are the things I could say from my dream to I see things. Okay. Olario Interior Design Company is different because we're very unique. Our showroom was curated in a way that when you come in as a client, you have an idea of what your home is going to look like. We set up the showroom in different design styles, and on each floor we have the design styles being represented. Like if you go to the ground floor, we have the classic modern design, and you come to the next floor, we have the contemporary designs, and then the final floor, we have the eclectic designs. So our designs are bold and beautiful, and we have a way of making our customers feel comfortable when they come to shop. First of all, when you walk in from the door, you see the fragrance here calms you down. Everywhere smells nice. Our staff, they're trained to be very nice to customers. And then when we have clients that want to design their spaces, we take our time to listen to the client, to know the design style that the client wants, and to help the client to achieve their dream space, right? Before you now put in your own suggestions to the client, right? So that's one of the things that makes us unique. Secondly, we're up to speed with our design trends. If you see here, like you're on the second floor upstairs, you can see the bold and beautiful designs, the mixture of colors. The colors are very unassuming. You won't like think about the combination, you know, in your head, but we're able to pull this together. Okay, so we also work in very difficult conditions and still achieve our goals at the end of the day. So our design styles, for instance, we can work with any design style. And I create my own design styles too. It's not, I don't follow the trends completely. So I do things that I think that will be pleasing to the eyes and pleasing to the clients. But the design style that I love most is the maximalist design style. I could use this corner as an example of the maximalist design style. You can see black represents elegance, and when you combine it with gold, it speaks luxury. And you see every piece you're seeing here is a statement piece. From the lamp, you can see the black and gold details with the crystal. And you see the Medusa head, we call it the Versace head. You can see that lady carrying the lamps. That's a special piece that we use. So on its own, it's a very special piece. It can stand on its own and as a focal point of a space. Then you see the sideboard or the credenza. You see it with the gold details and the finish, the lacquer finish. It looks very, very rich. So it's all about luxury in this space. From the boxes to the rugs to the sculptures, everything here is very expensive. We call this the space for the kings. Every piece you're putting in that space has a purpose. And most pieces, you know, usually if you go to a place, you say, okay, this is the focal point. You don't have a particular focal point in the maximalist interior design style. And I love that. And I like it because it's very difficult and I love challenges when it comes to interior design. So when I conquer, it makes me happy. That's why I like it. We design for residential homes, commercial, and hospitality. That's what we do. So we do their space planning, we do color selection, we source for the furniture and accessories, we do project management, and we do turnkey projects, yeah. So mostly things concerning interior designs, we do it. And one thing that we love to do is and I think is the best way to work with architects and builders, is for them to call us from the beginning. Instead of you going far, making mistakes, and then when we come in, we start all over again to correct things. So that costs money, time, and everything. So we like to work with architects from the beginning to design a space. So that way, that project comes out perfect from beginning. So, and it's easy to work because everything is programmed. Like I said, from the floor plan, you can buy all the accessories and furniture pieces that you need. My biggest achievement is this place, okay? This was a dream come true. I've always wanted to own a place like this where I can express myself. And this happened. It was not easy because the whole process and everything. And I could have done this in other places. I could have done it in America. I could have done it in Canada. But I feel like here is the best place. And if you ask me why, I would want to give back to my country in terms of employment, in terms of knowledge. So this is like my dream come true. I poured out my whole heart and my money here. My spirit is all over the place. It's all over the place. So it's one of it, the greatest achievements. The second achievement, I would say, is when I had to design a place in Canada. So that gave me so much joy. I knew that, I had stepped up in my career. My dream is to make homes happy. My dream is to bring peace to Nigeria. My dream is to bring love here. If you look around our showroom, you see that poster there. It's the maple tree, and the maple leaves are lighting, has the maple leaves. If you go downstairs, you see some of the trees. It's a symbol that I love so much. Even though it's the national symbol in Canada, but the maple tree has a lot. It shows purity, it shows strength, it shows wisdom, it shows love. It has different meanings from different spiritually, from nature, different things. And that's what we represent, and that's what we want to show our clients. The mission of Olario Interiors is to make an impact in the interior design industry. We want like every home to at least have one piece in their place to represent our company. And we want to be known in some parts of the world, especially Canada and America and here, which we're doing. We're partnering with some companies, other interior design and furniture companies, to make this possible. That's one of our dreams. My other goal is to be able to make impact in homes in the aspect of people having comfortable homes and working on their marriages, working on their happiness. And I want to be able to teach women about simple things that can work outside of interiors, but is also part of it. You know, that humility, you know, that traditional thing about cooking and serving your husband in a nice tray. We have beautiful trays here you can use, and cutlery, all those things matter. Making sure you set tables, because I go to a couple of people's homes, they serve you food as if, I'm sorry to say, you're just an ordinary person. When I say I'm not eating, they don't get it. You must serve somebody properly. And that's how you serve your man. He has to be your king. Yeah. You have to show somebody you appreciate the person by serving like that. Don't say you don't have time. Gen Zs, I hope they're listening. Don't say you don't have time. When you're cooking, your setting in your kitchen has to be appropriate. There's something, you know, like our mothers did. They have their powders in their kitchen. They touch up while they're cooking. So you gotta look good while you're doing all that. You don't just come out in your nightwear looking shabby and doing all that. So all this put together, you have to make sure your house smells nice. You have to make sure you smell nice. Because if your environment is toxic, everything will be toxic, toxic, toxic. You understand? That's what you produce. That's what you give to other people. But when everything is organized, from your closet, from your accessories, and don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be expensive. Everybody has something for them. We have things that are very affordable here. Some people come here, they say, oh, it's going to be expensive, but that's not true. You have to look inwards. Ask for what you want and you get it. You remember our mothers, even our grandmas in the village, they polished their floor. They make sure their chairs were clean. Everywhere is sparkling clean. So we should go back to the basics and take care of our homes, our environment, our offices. So this brings peace. And if you do this, your man is not going to run away. Never, never, never. To our former clients and regular clients, Olario is welcoming you back. And our potential clients, we have a lot to offer you now. We offer you a wonderful shopping experience when you come to Olario Furniture. It's safe for you to park here. We have a lot of parking space. It's relaxing. It's peaceful when you come here. And we have all the products that you need. We have the expertise that you need for your interior design process. Just come. This is a one-stop shop for you to design your project, whether hospitality, commercial, or residential. You are at the right place when you come in. We solve all your problems that you have.